So, talking about guns, what is your take on everyday regular citizens having guns? Like, what do you have a stance on?
Yeah, so in Canada, I don't mind having to fill out paperwork and then having like a background check, right? Because I don't think everybody should have one, but it's weird. The ones that should have them and have them filled out all the paperwork.
It's the ones that have them and don't fill out the paperwork. Those
are the ones that shouldn't have had them to begin with.
And they'll get them no matter what.
And they'll get them no matter what.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
So the whole handgun ban thing is is really the dumbest thing in the world. It's really just.
Well, I can
it's
see
not that hard to get a handgun.
I can see because Cameron's brought up a lot. He's been pro guns, all stuff. Like I'm all about what do you need guns for? But he also brought the point.
I used to be like that before I actually tried it.
And no, but not only that, but he brought up the point too that the whole reason why everyone has guns is because of the fact that they had to fight for their independence.
Right.
They had to remove them. Like we're still part of the British Empire.
Right.
Like
monarchy.
The monarchy. Yeah. Like so, we're paying out to the monarchy. Our army is the Royal Canadian Military. Like it's not our army. It's the British Army, right?
They pledge their allegiance to the Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what ends up happening. So everyone's pledging to the Queen. The Queen gets all the funding. Everything flows back to her, and so the Americans are the one that became independent. And the reason they became independent is because they all had their own weapons.
Right.
So like if all the citizens carried weapons, they would be less likely to try to come in and bring in an army and try to take them over. That's kind of how their whole army ended up getting so big in the first place.
Yeah, and that's my experience is from like the two different sides of the world. Like the ones that aren't allowed to have them or not supposed to have them, they're the ones that are not mentally capable of handling firearms to begin with, right? And shouldn't have them. Whereas like you see, like with all of the shooters, like we are with our guns all the time, every single day.
Yeah.
And how many accidents have we had?
Yeah.
None.
It's interesting because like the whole arms thing is.
Meanwhile, the ones that are unlicensed,
Yeah.
The criminal organizations, like how many accidents do they have? And I was actually going to make like a funny video, like because we have so many safety rules. Like I always wonder, like if you're doing your drive-by, like you clearly don't have your gun cased, right? So it's not locked.
If you're doing your drive-by, I don't think it's the safest. Like it's not like ammo's in the trunk, things in the case, they're both locked.
You don't have your trigger lock on it.
No.
There's
no safety. No.
There's no safety.
Safety, it's off.
Being safety is wrong. So the guy doesn't turn his safety on and the thing goes off and they hit a
That's what I
they hit a pothole and the
somebody
thing goes
dies
off.
in the back seat.
Which is in Edmonton.
Cheddar
if
Bob
you think
yourself,
about it's a genuine, like I have concerns for these people.
Yeah. No, you got concerns for the guys doing drive-bys?
Well, I mean,
or the guys getting shot at?
Is your finger on the trigger, right? In Edmonton, if you hit a pothole, that's it. Like.
Yeah, you accidentally shot your buddy in the leg.
You're shooting somebody.
That reminds me of Pulp Fiction. Remember when he goes, "What do you think about this situation?" And he shot the guy in the back seat.
I forget.
You remember he shot a guy. He goes, "What did you shoot him for?" He goes, "I just went off."
It's called an accidental discharge.
Yeah, accidental discharge. Yeah.
It just went off. He goes, "Oh, we're in the middle of the day. You got blood all over the back window."
That was a weird movie, not to get sidetracked, but it was like a comedy, but super dark at the same time. Like you're talking about killing somebody and laughing about it.
I almost feel like I should watch it again because I haven't watched
Classic
it.
film, yeah.
You haven't seen Pulp Fiction?
I think I've seen parts of it. I just don't remember the whole thing because it's not my thing.
Do you remember The Gimp?
No.
No, okay, yeah. Just YouTube The Gimp, Pulp Fiction, and then that'll explain the whole movie for you.
I'm sure there's more than that.
That movie, that scene stressed me out. I'm still a little emotionally disturbed after that scene.
That's the other thing that reminds me, like the difference between licensed responsible firearms owners. Like I find that we are smart enough to be able to talk about what's bothering us, to negotiate things. You know what I mean? And it's okay to not agree on everything. Whereas these bullies, they don't talk about it.
They just shoot each other.
They're not smart enough.
Yeah.
You're so angry at somebody that obviously the words are not like communicating, so you're just gonna go and shoot someone.
I used to be in the nightclub industry, and I've witnessed sort of my fair share of, or been around or witnessed my fair share of shootings, and some of the people that have shot each other are their cousins' brothers. Like they're either cousins or they're brothers, and they're in an argument, and that argument I know this is fucking like dudes are so ridiculous, but it's 9 times out of 10
Yeah.
over a girl, and they shoot each other over it. And I've seen it.
And that's what I mean. Like, you're not smart enough to be able to talk about the situation. Like, I can't even think of one incident where we got even, like, nobody got mad.
To the
That
point of
just
wanting to
doesn't-
shoot somebody.
I mean, not even that. Like,
Take
not even
someone's
an
life, man.
argument. Like, we just don't even argue. Like, we don't even argue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't even take it to
The-
the thought
the
of shooting
worst-
somebody. Yeah.
The worst thing that could happen is if, let's just say, we're like running and we break like a safety rule, right? Like, let's just say, like, we have a 9, it's called a 90, so your gun can't pass a certain point.
You can't
right?
be going, hey, did you guys see that shot? And turn around with the gun and be like,
Yeah,
whoa.
that's an immediate.
Yeah.
Someone will yell stop, right?
Yeah.
Or I had another incident where I was close to 90 on the video. Like, I saw that it wasn't. I didn't break 90. It was like 89, I would say. But he called it anyways, right? And then they pull you aside. They're like, the guy's like, I'm really sorry I had to do. I'm like, no, you're fine. Like, your one job is to make sure that
Everybody's
all
safe.
the safety rules or whatever.
Yeah.
I go, what I'm learning from it, even though I watched the video and you're not
Even though
correct.
you're wrong and I
Even
was
though
right,
you're wrong,
I was
right.
close to the line.
I was close to the line, and what I'm going to do is retrain to make sure that my gun never faces this way and that it always faces that way. So it's not even close, because I would not want to put that on somebody else
Yeah.
if it's a major competition and you have to yell stop and you're not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I go, so that's fine, we're all good. And that happens. People just don't get,
So do you think
don't get mad.
there should be more training with guns, or just ban them altogether?
well, definitely don't ban them. Because here's the thing, if they're banned, that means my guns and my daughter's guns, which are mine,
Yeah.
will be taken away, and we're the ones that are responsible firearms users.
Now, do you get a lot of like
And-
kickback from the fact that like your daughter has guns and stuff like that? Like I would imagine a lot of people would
Feedback.
be
Get
triggered,
offended, get
triggered by the fact that
Oh, of course.
a young child is learning how to use a weapon.
Right. So in Canada, it's not a weapon. It's just a firearm.
Okay.
It's
well,
not a weapon.
well, how does that work? You're
Because
gonna
a
have
weapon, you can take anything. Like, I can take my iPhone and
to use it as a weapon.
Use that as a
means
weapon.
weapon means it's using
intent,
against something.
The intent is to hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, gun's an inanimate object at the end of the day.
And it's not intended to hurt anybody. I get it that if you pull the trigger, whatever you point at is going to be destroyed. But yeah, I want to destroy the alpha zone in a target. Like, that's my intended use for it, right? That's it.
I like that, actually. That's a good distinction, because you can intend you could probably kill somebody with this.
You could, yeah.
If you really
If you try to
got
force it down my throat.
Yeah, if you got
and
really
like,
fucking
yo, man,
weird
use
about
this
it.
thing as a weapon. And it's like,
right?
yo,
You could.
Yeah,
he
that's
used
true.
this. Can we see the weapon, please? This was the weapon he used.
What about vehicular manslaughter? I haven't checked the stats because I'm busy training, but is there not more, what is it called, vehicular homicide? Where you
Vehicular
kill
homicides, yeah.
people with a car?
Hit and run.
There was a guy in
Like, that is what, now all of a sudden that's a weapon? Why don't we ban cars?
yeah, this is gonna piss a lot of people off. This people get mad at this type of
People
stuff.
get mad
when
all
you
the
say,
time.
Yeah, no,
They
they're
always
all
get mad.
everybody's all
Mad.
triggered. Yeah,
Everyone's
screw
all
it.
triggered.
They all get triggered.
Yeah.
They're all triggered.
Well, who's
They're
the
trigger happy.
Yeah.
What's
We're gonna have to
happening-
put that at the top of the list because trigger warning.
Yeah, geez. Okay, yeah, that's what we're gonna put trigger.
This is gonna be the name of this
called
episode.
trigger warning.
This episode's called trigger
Somebody
warning.
is going to be offended. Is
Oh,
it
yeah.
going to be you? You know what
What-
I mean?
What happened in the UK right now is everyone's getting stabbed now because they banned guns, but like the knife crime, everyone's stabbing each other now.
Well, that's what they
in
said.
the UK.
Back in Canada, it was like that too. Like most robberies were done with knives and stuff like that. Rather than
Yeah,
guns.
it's like running rampant in the UK. Nobody has guns, so everyone's just stabbing each other. And then there was I forget who it was, a little while ago. There was someone who drove over a bunch of people in a van or a
Did they
bus.
ban the?
Well, they
ban
did
the-
that
ban
that
the
car thing at that rally. The guy drove.
That's
down.
what I'm saying. He just drove
He
over
just
a bridge
drove
and
a
got
whole
rid of everybody.
whack of people that were
Right.
like in a protest and a rally, and he just drove over all of them. I'm like, that was a little wild. Like that's like I was
Yeah, or
thinking
the
about what he
van
was
somewhere
doing
else.
and driving it over.
Yeah, you could, if you really wanted to, you could kill anyone, a mass amount of people, as weird as this sounds, and you could do it any way you really want to. I mean, gun's just one method, but you could use a car, you could build some
Right.
weird bomb that you create, like you could.
There, you triggered another.
Yeah,
And
well,
now
no.
this whole
Triggered
video's
some-
triggered.
Yeah, no. All I'm saying is
Going on.
everything's an inanimate object until you
It
put
really
it to a
is.
different
It's
use.
what is
that-
the intentional
What's the
use of
intention
it?
behind it? Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Steve Andis here. If you enjoyed that clip, make sure you check out some other clips. Just click this link up top. And if you want to catch the full version of that episode, be sure to click this link down on the bottom. I'm Steve Andis on the Thought Exchange, the podcast where nothing is safe.